But the purpose of this video recording is I want to share what it felt like and what I learned meeting the being that is providing the service that the Panaeolus Cyanecens mushroom is all about, because it was very unexpected. And anybody who's listened to any of my other videos will certainly know that the purpose of any of my videos is sharing everything I learn when I journey. And a lot of that is carried over from when I journeyed really hard without psychedelics, when I did it completely pure, not using any substance, pure discipline of the mind and the heart. So if anybody who knows me will know two things. I don't fuck around when it comes to sharing the authenticity of my journeys. That is one of the greatest joys of my life, is sharing what I learn. And so that's what I want to do. I want to share what I just learned after taking some pans today. If you've listened to my other videos, I've been experimenting with very high quantities of golden teacher and penis envy. But I recently got into the cultivation of pans. And being that my wife and daughter had gone on a trip, she was visiting her sister out of state. They're on spring break and I still have to work. I was planning on having a big pan journey in a couple days. I was actually going to not take anything for a few days in preparation for having a very large journey, or at least a journey with the pans, and to learn what I can learn. Here it is Monday. And it was 4 o'clock, and I kept having a nagging feeling that I should go on a journey. It was like this feeling, just take a little bit, just take a gram, it'll be all right. Or it wasn't even a gram, it was just one of these gummies I made of the pans. I'm like, what is this? Is this like an addiction? What is this? Where is this coming from? I mean, psilocybin in this stuff is not addictive, and I don't really have an addictive personality. I can shut off anything in an instant. I feel I'm tremendously disciplined in that manner. And I'm very attentive to any voice or nagging sensation that comes from within. But this would not let me go. It would not. And I really wanted to take nothing for a couple of days, because here's the other thing about me is I take heroic doses a few times a week. I have not been sober from psilocybin in 7 months. I have consumed over a ½ pound at least. I lost count of mushrooms starting in August as an experiment to see what happens when somebody macrodoses heroically multiple times a week for an entire year. It's part of an experiment I'm doing. And so I wanted to actually lower my tolerance for at least for a few days in preparation for a pan journey, kind of out of respect and out of, just preparation to see what another individual will experience on 1 gram of pans without a tolerance. I'll still have a tolerance, but I'm a pretty good judge of where things are going to go. I've been doing this a while. And anyway, this nagging sensation would not stop. So I gave in. I took one of my gummies, a pan gummy I had made. But it just felt like laughter. It says, no, no, no. Take one of those vials you made. So I just thought about it. I'm like, all right, I have no obligations for the rest of the day. My wife and daughter are gone. I have a lunch date tomorrow. I've got meetings and phone calls. I gotta get my guys going on a job site tomorrow in the morning. All right, let's just go big tonight. It wouldn't leave me alone. So, I mean, it wasn't even big. I decided to take one of my vials, which is a 30 milliliter vial of pan extract I made, which should only be about 1 gram of pan extract. So I took that. But I really wanted to wait for a few more days to lower my tolerance so I could really get a good feeling, like I said, of what a regular individual would experience from 1 gram of pan. Anyway, after 1 hour, I was mightily impressed by the power of the pan. Even with my tolerance that I have, it is very special. This combination, or the levels of the alkaloids, whatever their levels are in the pan, is very, very special. Is very refined. Is very, I like the use the word etheric. Is very light. There is so little body load, and there is zero anxiety, zero paranoia of any kind. It is like going to church, like no other thing. But after 1 hour and 1 gram of pan, I felt like I was so interested to see where it would go now, I decided to take 2 more grams. Mainly because I have a tolerance. So I'm like, let's go. Let's see where 3 grams takes me. Because I hadn't quite peaked out on the first gram. And within 30 minutes of taking the additional 2 grams, that's when I started getting taught. That's when this being showed up and basically said, sit the fuck up. Because I was laying on my bed. I knew this was going to be bigger, so I made a nice place on my bed. I got kind of prepared just to lay down. And I was kind of laying on my side. This is in a super good space from the first gram of pan, right? But when this being showed up, it basically taught me what's what. And this is what I want to share. Because it wasn't fucking around. It basically said, sit the fuck up, show some respect. And then it began to instruct me about the reasons why, or the reason why I need to stop being lackadaisical about how I take my mushroom, or at least on these larger doses. Because many times I would lay down, which is okay. And I do it really early in the morning too. Like if you've heard any of my videos about my favorite time is 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. And it's okay. I mean, that was not pans at that time, but taking these pans and this being was very much no nonsense. And it went straight into the full instruction, teaching me within about the reasons to sit up, get your spine into good posture, and prostrate yourself. Inwardly prostrate myself so that I may be worthy and not so fucking lackadaisical like I've been before. So I just wanted to share that there is a serious refinement in the pan. The golden teacher, even as common as it is really something special when taken in extremely high doses like I've been doing, 16, 18 grams. It teaches you a lot. It teaches you immensely beautiful things. But in comparison to the pan, it was kind of like going from grade school into some serious military discipline. So anyway, that's all I'm really going to talk about in this experience, but I just wanted to share that was my first introduction. And 3 grams a pan is definitely takes you to church. All right. Godspeed, brothers and sisters.